Welcome back to Cranked Up Live. My name is Adam Garcia. I'm the video producer of Cranked Up Live. I have a special guest with me. It's Mike from Red Sun Rising.
What's up, man?
Mike, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Appreciate you rolling by Lubbock, Texas, by the way.
We love it here.
Even
we Lubbock.
I love it. Even after all the rain?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, we missed the rain. We were in the dry heat in Arizona last night, so this is nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you missed it, man. We've had an interesting flood.
We drove through. I saw some houses half underground.
Yeah.
Or half underwater.
Yeah. What exactly made you want to start writing your own music?
When I was in, I think it was middle school. Yeah, it would have been middle school. So I started playing guitar when I was 11, and I had this buddy that was a little better at music or at guitar than me, and we started sitting down, and he just had an ear for, like, listen how good this hook is. And that was I remember that was the first time I heard the term hook, and he'd point that out, like, listen how good this part is and why it's so catchy. And so I started to catch on to that, and we started writing songs together. We started a high school band, and that's really started getting into, like, writing a song, and while I was writing, trying to find those hooks that would make people want to sing it, or people want to. And then as I listened to music in the future, you know, as I started getting older, I started to, like, learn from that, just listening to different kind of music, and but that's where I really started with my buddy. His name's Dan, and we would just sit and listen to music for hours and be like, why is this song so good? This is why, like, this is the catchy part. And, like, when I started to write, I started to try to use those influences.
Is that how Red Sun Rising came to be with you?
No, actually, no. That was my high school band, and I didn't meet Ryan, my guitar player now, until after high school. And ironically, we went to the same high school, but I didn't know him until afterwards. And he was the next guy that I actually enjoyed writing with. You know, there was Dan. That was a high school thing, and once that band broke up or whatever, and we moved on, and I met Ryan, and we both realized we had the same influences, and we had a similar writing style, and we just started pumping out songs. It was just effortless writing together, and that's why I think we've always written so well together.
Okay. What was the inspiration behind Polyester Zeal?
As the album or the song?
As the album as a total.
The album, it was a song originally, Polyester Zeal, which is not on the album, but the song was about kind of like cheap ambition, or doing what makes you happy, no matter the cost or what it's worth to someone else. So that's where polyester, which is something cheap and obtainable, and zeal, which is something you strive for. So the juxtaposition kind of creates that idea. So we thought it would be an appropriate title for our debut record, because it kind of summed up all those years of hard work, and we finally got to record a national record. So it became our dream, our Polyester Zeal.
What was your initial reaction whenever they told you that? Well, I know they said that they told you that the other side reached #1 on the Billboard mainstream. And what was your reaction whenever they told you that your second single, Emotionless, became #1?
Ironically, it kind of just came and went, because we were on the road both times, like right in the midst of a tour. So it was hard to kind of step back and really let it sink in, because we had a show to do that night and a show to do the next day. So we just kept working. You know, it's like, okay, cool, we got that. Let's just keep moving forward. What's the next thing? So, but yeah, it's definitely surreal. The first one was kind of came as a shocker. The second song, Emotionless, we were already more confident in. So it still surprised us to go 2 in a row, but it wasn't as much of a surprise as the first one, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of bands that have both their first singles come out.
Well, we were actually the first independent artist to do that.
Yeah.
Off a debut record.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And
Thanks.
Both songs are amazing, by the way.
Appreciate that.
I love those songs. What exactly do y'all do whenever y'all have downtime? Like, if you're not touring, if you're at home, what exactly is it that you do with your time?
I mean, as of late, like, the time at home has been so brief that we just kind of relax as much as possible, enjoy time with our friends and family. But I mean, we love traveling, so every time we're traveling, we like to just explore the new places that we're in and try local coffee shops and local breweries and really immerse ourselves in the culture of wherever we're traveling to. But yeah, at home lately, it's been so few and far between that it's just mostly relaxation.
Yeah, and y'all just came back from Rocking the Range, didn't y'all?
Yes.
What was the atmosphere like for you there? That's your second time.
Yeah, that was incredible. Simply because that's close to home. We're from Akron, Ohio, which is just about 2 hours north, and all those hometown fans were ready to see us again, and we hadn't been there in months, in Ohio in months, and so the energy was just incredible. Just to see, not only were people pumped up because of what we've done on the national level with the singles and all the touring, but then the hometown fans on top of it. So it was just extra special that night, for that day.
Yeah, and then being at Rocking the Range, seeing that huge crowd. I mean, how does it make you feel knowing that these guys are here to see you, and from when you first started, playing all these small gigs?
I think that was one of those moments, because that show was so insane and so many people were singing back and they were so into it. And I mean, there was people crowd surfing like nonstop, which we love. We love to see that, and people having a good time. That was one of those moments where it was kind of the culmination of all your hard work. You got to actually physically see it, and that was one of those moments.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you ever miss playing the smaller gigs?
Oh, we're playing one tonight.
Sure.
So yeah, we love it. I think it's good to have that back and forth, because I think playing just the big stages kind of keeps you out of touch with connecting with the fans. I mean, the barricades, almost 100 feet away.
Yeah.
So you just see a sea of people. At these type of venues that are smaller and more intimate, you can see people's faces, you can touch them. There's nothing like that. So to have both is the best.
Right. And bringing up the connection with the fans, I mean, it's no secret that social media has a huge impact on bands and
Totally.
various businesses. I mean, how interactive are you guys with social media and your fans?
We always tell this to everyone. Know that on our social media, it is us responding. Like sometimes we can't get to everybody because there's a lot now, but if you ever get a response from Red Sun Rising, it's one of the band members. So we still do all our own social media and all our own posts. So it is us, and we do feel that's important to have that connection. That's why it's there. That's why social media is there, to socialize with your fans.
Now, with Polyester Zeal being out for a little over a year, I know that you've answered this question before, but I know you said that you've been writing with the guys. But is there a new album on the horizon?
There's always going to be a new album on the horizon. It's always about the next record and moving forward and evolving as a band. And I think we've already done that, just the small snippets of writing that we've done together. And every day, someone from the band's bringing an idea, whether it's a lyric, a guitar part, or whatever it might be, a melody. Everyone's bringing ideas to the table. So we have a ton of ideas in the hopper, and as soon as we have some downtime, we're gonna really sit down as a band and hash it out. And I'm sure there'll be a new record on the horizon. However, this record's still doing well for us, and I think we may have another single or two left in it, at least. So we're gonna, not necessarily riding on this record, but we want this one to have the life it deserves, because we put a lot of hard work into it.
Right. And it really does deserve at least 2 or 3 more singles, if you ask me.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
all those
that.
songs are strong. I mean, I can listen to it front to back. Not
Thank you.
with it. So, and I have one last question, which for me, I'm a nerd, and that's kind of.
I'm a nerd too.
Oh, that's a good thing. You love this question. Well, the question is, Marvel or DC, and why?
I would say Marvel, just because when I was growing up, I feel like it was more prominent in my childhood.
Right.
I don't know. I guess that'd be the biggest thing. Like all those superheroes were more, was just more in my childhood, especially. So that's what I would say.
Well, alrighty then. Well, Mike, I appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.